It is 3 o'clock. I will call the meeting to order. We do have a quorum. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hoorah. In front of you, you have the minutes from the previous meeting of April 27th, 2026. If you'll take a moment to look at them, see if you have any additions and or deletions. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion's been made and properly seconded. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? It carries. We are now moving to Historic Zoning Commission and Common Design Review Board cases. I'll turn it over to Brent.
Thank you. First case today is DO 46-2026. It's the application of Samuel Hughes Johnson and others with the agent of LIS Architecture in care of Justin Chamberlain. Reason for the request is construction of a Long John Silver's for property located at what's known as a portion of Franklin Meadows Commercial Lot 1. It is the property highlighted in blue on your screen. The property sits directly across from the Terra Boulevard and Tiny Town Road intersection. Thanks to Mr. David Smith for the unique views of the site you will see today. The drone is directly above Terra Boulevard with Tiny Town Road running east to west, and the site is directly across from that intersection. And for lack of a better bearing, there is a Porta John right in the middle of the site that is about the property line. That is why it is a portion of Lot 1. We'll point out the other portion is a Panera Bread, which came through our office prior to the Clarksville Design Overlay being extended. So that case, this body will likely never see. But that is the adjoining parcel. This is the next shot's just going around the site. A good look at the travel easement, which the Long John Silver's, the Panera Bread, the Starbucks, and I think there's an auto parts store and dentistry. All will utilize that travel easement, done in an effort to help reduce driveways and curb cuts off of Tiny Town, which our office encourages.
I know.
Looking from the back of the site with Tiny Town Road in the distance, you see the Terra Boulevard intersection across the street, and again, the site we're looking at today is on this left-hand side. Final shot, the drone is just above the Starbucks here. Again, just looking into the site. And then the straight down, Tiny Town Road is at the top of the screen. You can see a portion of it there, and then the travel easement as well. Next, we have the site and landscape plan. The only real thing I'll point out here is this site and landscape plan did receive Planning Commission approval last month, with one of the conditions being the elevations approved by this board. And here are the elevations for the proposed Long John Silver's. The bottom right elevation is how the structure will be viewed from Tiny Town Road. The brown color is a pre-finished engineered wood siding, chestnut colored. And the blue on the front there, around the front entrance, is Sherwin-Williams colored Georgian Bay. And that material is fiber cement architectural wall panel, excuse me. We'll point out as well in the top two elevations are the side views. The top is how it will be viewed from the parking area. The middle one is how it will be viewed from the drive-through. That pre-finished engineered wood does extend the sides of the front, and the Georgian Bay blue extends around the front door and around the drive-through pickup. And then here is that actual building at another location of what this structure will look like. And there are no staff comments, and I will answer any questions if there are any.
Anybody have any questions for Brett? Thank you. Sure.
When will this be erected, when it will be established? When do they plan to have this done?
I'll defer to Mr. McKay, I think, is here to speak on it.
Any other questions for the staff? Seeing none, we will now open the public hearing for case DO 46-2026. Is there anyone wish to speak in favor? Please come forward, state your name and address. You'll have 3 minutes.
Cal McKay, 1545 Madison Street, McKay Burchett and Company Engineers. We're the civil engineer on the site. As far as construction schedule, they haven't purchased the property yet, waiting to get through all the process and make sure they get their permits, and then they'll set a construction schedule. But we're almost all the way there with the approvals. But I didn't have anything else to add unless y'all had questions.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. McKay?
You think you have enough parking spaces for?
Does she have her can you turn your microphone on, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forget. I'm sorry. How many parking spaces you think you have?
Can you pull the site plan back up? I don't remember how many there is. Top left.
Say how many? 58?
You got 23 plus 2 handicap,
Don't speak out, 'cause they gonna say,
15.
oh, they gonna 15, 8, that ain't nothing. Just 15 and 8. It's gonna be,
26 is required, and we have,
oh, 26 required.
and
Okay.
that's how many we have.
50, I see 15, is that gonna be, for handicap?
We
Or
s-
is that just for regular parking? How many? Wait a minute,
Your handicap's up front.
how many?
There's
Okay.
2 handicap spaces.
15 and 8 is what we see on this, piece of paper here. 15,
Oh, and then we're allowed to count 3 landscape islands for parking spaces.
so
So
in all
that's where
have-
you get the 26.
Oh, you say, so you have 26 exactly?
I have 23 plus 3 landscape islands, which count as parking spaces.
Oh, okay, 23, okay. And would that be a double lane drive-through or one lane?
1 lane.
One lane drive-through, okay. All right. All right, thank you.
Does anybody have any other questions for Mr. McKay? Thank you, sir. Would anybody else wish to speak in favor? Anyone else wishing to speak in favor, please come forward, state your name and address. Anyone wish to speak in opposition? Anyone wish to speak in opposition, please come forward, state your name and address. Seeing none, we will now close the public hearing of DO-46-2026. Does anybody have any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion's been made and properly seconded. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? It carries. Next, we'll move into the next case, Brent.
Yes, sir. Final case today is DO 47-2026. It's the application of Majid Saeed with no agent listed. Reason for the request is approval of lighting around the windows and doors for property located at 1728 Memorial Drive. This property does fall in the Hilldale Memorial Drive subdistrict and is at the southeastern corner of Memorial Drive and Memorial Circle, directly across from Memorial Drive at the Publix. Before we play this video here, this structure is before you today due to a complaint filed with the Codes Department. And this is what prompted that complaint. I have been working with the applicant and Ms. Tia, who is here, the past month to try and bring the structure into compliance with the signage and lighting. The wall signage has been approved. They have removed a lot of the window signage to meet the window signage portion of the ordinance. However, the exterior lighting is a board level function. And we will go through this. My computer takes a while, so bear with us. I will point out while we're here too, you notice the chasing and flashing, running lights. In part of working with Miss Tia, those lights are now one static color all the way around. However, again, exterior lighting is still a board level function, so that is why it is here.
What's it called, board level function? Oh, it's us, our board.
It just don't. No, I know, it'll get there. All right, we are back. Here is the structure during the day. A little hard to see the lights around the window, but at this time they were a purple color. There is some lighting around the eaves of the roof as well down the side. And then also you'll be approving these two lights mounted to the roof as well. This is from the Memorial Circle side. You will see the lights around the two side windows as well, around the door. And I will point out these lights around the door, the white ones, they appear to be running and chasing, but they are not. They are a static light. This is the structure at night. Standing in the Publix parking lot with this shot. These lights that you're looking at today are the orange lights, again, around the windows, doors, the eave line, and on the side as well. This is in Memorial Circle looking at the structure. A better look too at the two lights mounted to the roof. And then those orange lights. And then one more looking from the Memorial Drive, Memorial Circle intersection. Staff comments. The first comment is the number one goal in the signage and lighting portion of the Clarksville Design Overlay Ordinance, which states encourage a more uniform and aesthetically pleasing appearance. The next three comments come from the lighting section of that ordinance, that lighting shall be directed downward and shall not cast light pollution on adjacent properties. In no instance shall lighting, whether it's parking, advertising, or security, be projected directly into the public right-of-way. And then pulsating, flashing, running, or rotating lights are not permitted. And I will answer any questions of the staff if there are any.
Does anybody have any questions for Brett? Yes, ma'am.
What about the Christmas? Are they allowed to have the lights up for Christmas the way they want to, or? I'll put it on there. What about Christmas lights? You know, we put up lights everywhere for Christmas. Is it against the law to do that during Christmas time? Can he relight his business back up during that time? What's the stipulations on that?
In the overall zoning ordinance, holiday lights are exempt from
Oh, so
the
that's
zoning
all.
ordinance.
That's what I thought.
Holiday decorations, but I believe there's a period of time, you can't just leave your Christmas lights up all year and say they're Christmas lights either.
Well, I have to say I did leave up a little of my lights, but you know, I know, hey, I don't have real light like that, but I think it's beautiful, but you know, I'm just saying for Christmas, he need to keep them up for Christmas, but you know, take them down when they need
Not
to.
Christmas.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions for the staff? I do have one.
Yes, sir.
Is there any part of this lighting that they are not in compliance with?
You know, in my opinion, and typically I'd have a staff recommendation on a case like this, but with this meeting bumped up a week because of Memorial Day holiday next week, our staff meeting is tomorrow. My opinion, points 2, 3, and 4 there, the actual, where it calls out the lighting standards in the ordinance, I think the property probably meets. Light is not spilling out of the site. It's all pointed downward. However, saying that, the number one goal of the Clarksville Design Overlay signage and lighting is to encourage a more uniform and aesthetically pleasing appearance. In my opinion, which that's a very subjective statement, it probably doesn't meet.
Okay.
There's nothing in the ordinance or in any other city code that prohibits window lights like the kind you see there, just prohibits that they rotate like you saw in the original video, which started this whole thing with the code department. I want to back up a second. Brent, you mentioned the sign was already approved. Just so the board members and anyone watching and anyone else here knows, the triangular nature of the sign, it meets the square footage because of how it is. If it was a square or rectangle sign, it might not meet it, but because it's triangle and we measure the outside of the simple geometry, that meets it, as well as the color of that sign would also be fine per the current regulations. So,
Correct.
and the side lights, they have worked in the past. Those used to be pointed right at Memorial, and they have since pointed them down to be more appropriate security lights and not just attracting lights. But the window lights, the trim lights, there's nothing currently in any city ordinance that prohibits trim or window lights like that. It's just a matter of they need to be static. One thing we haven't discussed is, like, could it be red today and purple tomorrow and white? What are we discussing, a singular color today? Or are we just saying you can use them as long as it's a static color?
I think just the general lighting, and that's a good point. They're purple in this daytime photo, which was taken a different day than the nighttime photo, in which they were the orange color. They have the ability to change the colors. However, they understand they also can't change every 30 seconds or a minute, or I think it's a day-to-day thing in which they change them. But I think in general, just the lighting, regardless of the color, is what would be looked at today, with the understanding that they, from a daily basis, could be a different color.
Yes, any other questions for the staff? Turn your microphone on, please.
Thank you. I would just like to say, I think, I hear what you're saying, not against that and following the laws, but I think it's good for stores to have lighting, because there are robberies that we have. We can see people better. Even at nighttime, it helps the person to be caught. Because if it's dark, hey, you can't see the robber. You can't see the murderer or whoever's coming in to do anything. I just think that we need the lighting around these businesses like that. I know, but the pulsation, it probably throw people off, driving, looking over, stuff like that. But I'm not against the lights being up there. I think it's beautiful. It beautifies the place. Thank you. That's just my comment.
Any other? Yes, sir.
So just to be clear, the way it is now, it fits within the codes and the regulations. Is that correct?
I think so, as far as containing all the light on site. As I mentioned, that very subjective statement at the beginning, is it uniform and aesthetically pleasing?
Aesthetically pleasing is different for everybody, right?
Exactly.
As I wear a seersucker pinstripe suit. So there's that. Thank you.
Do
Yes,
have,
ma'am.
just to piggyback off yours, aesthetically pleasing, and it has to fit in with the other businesses in the area too. So there aren't any other businesses in that area with all that kind of lighting, correct?
Good point. I can't think of any. I know there's some on Madison Street, not in this immediate area.
Right.
I will point out too, we'll be having a 7 Brew that was approved by this board. Think of the one on Riverside. They have the lighting up around the roof line, but it's diffused and it's shielded. So that will be coming not too far from here eventually.
Right. And I do agree with the lighting for security. The lights on the roof would do that. But all the pulsating lights and the window lights, they're not going to do anything for security, in my opinion. It's just opinion.
Any other questions for staff? Yes, sir.
Was there any follow-up with the person that filed the complaint to see if they'd be okay with this change, with the changes that have been made?
There was not.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
And that was a a complaint filed to the codes department, not our department. That's how it ended up with us. So.
Any other questions?
So they're just concerned about the lights blinking.
Turn your microphone on, please.
Sorry. Are they just concerned about the blinking of the lights, or in the way they're going different ways? Is that the
I'm
main
not sure
concern?
what
Is that the complaint?
what the complaint was. I think that was what was complained to the codes department. However, as I mentioned, exterior lighting is a function of this board. So similar to the 7 Brew
Right.
on Riverside, that light strip around was part of that package. So
And when the code department cited them originally, the sign had not been approved either through this
Correct.
department. So initially, we didn't know if that sign met the size or anything, so we still had to go out and make those measurements, and Brent determined that that fell within the tolerance for staff level, so that's why the sign itself, the smoke for less portion is approved, and that's why the lighting here, or we would also be talking about the sign size, but we didn't know that a month ago when we started
Right.
working on this with the code department.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the staff? We will now open the public hearing for case number DO-47-2026. If you'd like to speak in favor, please come forward, state your name and address. You'll have 3 minutes. Anybody wishes to speak in favor, please come forward. Nope. They don't have to. Since no one wishes to speak in favor, anybody wish to speak in opposition? Please come forward, state your name and address. Seeing none on both, we will now close the public hearing for DO-47-2026. Are there any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to accept the,
You can say one of the amendment.
ordinance before us.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the ordinance before us.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Can we do an amendment now or after?
Wait till the second. I need a second.
Or you can let the motion
You can vote
fail
against.
and then make another motion.
Motion dies for lack of a second. Is there another motion?
Okay, I could make a motion to approve as long as they're in compliance with the historic.
Regional Planning Commission.
Regional Planning Commission guidelines.
And common residual
And
design.
all of it, all of our guidelines.
So the motion is to approve as long as it's in compliance with the guidelines from the Historic Regional Planning Commission and Common Design Review Boards as they overlook it, just like they're doing now, trying to make sure that it's okay. There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been properly second. Motion's been made and properly seconded. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? It approves. It's approved. Any other business coming before this august body?
We have no other cases today.
Okay. Any public comments from anyone for items not on the agenda? Any public comments? Please come forward, state your name and address. You'll have 3 minutes.
Louisa Cook, 5A Thayer Lane. Just wondered if you all have and could give us any kind of response from Mrs. Willoughby concerning her letter of last month.
Obviously, this is time to speak, not necessarily a question and answer period. There was a letter sent from Mr. McMillan, and if you will see Brent after the meeting, they will get you a copy of the letter.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that letter is in everybody's packet too as well. Anybody else wish to make a public comment not related to the agenda items? Please come forward. Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to.
Wait. Just a quick
Oh,
update.
wait,
Sorry,
yes,
everyone.
yes, correct.
Last Monday, we had Mr.
wait
Phil
for him
Walker
to-
was here with Keith Covington, and we had some folks down here. We had a pretty good crowd talking about the downtown guidelines for the historic districts. We're giving the public about another week here. Probably close it out this Friday for any other comments. We've received 2 emails with some comments. And then Brent and I will work with Phil and Keith on getting an updated ordinance. We hope to have that back to you hopefully in June. It looks like I might have some conflicts, so we might have to go to July so that I can present that to City Council. I don't want Brent and John having to do that one. I think that's going to be a pretty big discussion on that one. So either June or July, we'll bring that back to you all for your consideration, as well as the Planning Commission, as well as City Council, to update the ordinance and adopt the downtown and historic guidelines. So stay tuned on that one. If you didn't get a copy, let me know and we'll send it out. I think I copied most people. There's a link on our website, but I'll send it all out to you again.
You can speak from his chair. Does he?
Yeah.
Up front?
Yeah, you can do board member comments.
You can do board member comments. Good.
Okay, basically, there's just a good time. We're going to discuss, please look at the pictures on the screen. And we don't have a rep from codes here today. So my question is, and this goes to the entire board, this building was painted and a stop work order was issued in March of '25. It has since been touched up. More paint has been applied to it. It's at 508 Franklin. I talked to the codes department and they said that the stop work order should have stayed in should have stayed until they pulled it. This is now a business in here, so the stop work order didn't hold a lot of gumption.
enforcement.
This is 408 Franklin. This was painted last week with no approval, and the codes department was called. They supposedly sent someone out there, but didn't stop it from being painted. These are two buildings that are in the overlay that they should have come before us for painting. Can't paint brick, without, and both of these buildings were in good shape. The brick was in good shape. This is the property that we approved him repainting, and I asked the codes department on why it hasn't been repainted. It's been, 6 months since we told him he had to repaint. He's been to Brent and got an approval. We're asking the codes department to do more and more and more with the lighting and with everything else. And we've got to, I'm just going to say this. We have to either go by the guidelines or not. That's what we're here for. And we've had two buildings painted, one in the last week that the codes department was advised of, and nothing happened. They did send someone there, but they didn't make any stop work orders or anything else. So my worry is why are we here? I mean, the guidelines are there for a reason. And if people aren't going to abide by the guidelines, and if we can't hold their feet to the fire and find them, or codes can't find them, what's our purpose? It seems, we're doing a rewrite on the guidelines. What's the timeline for this person to paint this building? I asked codes that. They couldn't tell me. So, I mean, they threw it up in my face and said, well, you approved it. Well, no, we approved it to be repainted. And then it became your responsibility to make sure that happened. So, I think we need to sit down, and I've talked to Mr. Tyndall, I think we need to sit down with the codes department, find out what tools they have, what tools they're using, if they're aware of these tools. And something needs to happen, because it's easier to ask forgiveness than it is permission on a lot of these. And as far as I'm concerned, both of those buildings need to be repainted. So, thank you.
Thank you, David. So we do follow the guidelines, however, we're having a lack of enforcement is what you're saying, correct? And Brent and Mr. Tyndall, can you guide us on that?
Oh, I've been in talks with Mr. Smith over here and with the legal department. So we are working on getting sort of a roundtable, if you will, with folks involved and see just where the disconnect might be.
Gary.
I know I'm the oldest one on here, and my memory may not be good, but the two buildings in that picture right there, weren't they painted without proper approval?
Yes.
And they came in and asked forgiveness for it, and then I think the owner actually threw the renter underneath the bus,
Yeah.
blaming them.
And we asked them to repaint them red, if I'm not mistaken, back to the original color, maybe?
Well,
No,
More of
what
a,
do we-
the one on the left was approved as is. The one in the middle had to be more of a golden historic color to match the previous brick.
Okay, that's what,
Yeah,
go back
and
to
they're
the
both
previous brick.
right,
Yeah.
and they're both off-white from each other. So that was another problem.
Okay. So we'll work on that enforcement. Thank you. Yep. Anybody else? Anybody else? Got anything else? Zach, you got anything? All right, if there's nothing else for here, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion's been made, properly seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? It carries. Yep, we got to work on enforcement. And there was a letter the week before that I read.